Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
And welcome back to Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. Episode 71, y'all. 71 weeks of making magic with all of you people. We're really excited. Thank you for keep coming back. If you guys this is your first time around or you're kind of new here, go look at some of the other older episodes. Go to youtube.com/Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. You can listen to all of them on iTunes. You can listen to all of them on Spotify or Podbean or wherever you get your podcasts. But you can only watch them on YouTube if they're old episodes. And if you want the new episodes, which we got some great new ones coming out, Jeannie Buss and JC Currais again and stuff like that, go to patreon.com/Jeff Dye. And you can, for a small fee, you'll get free comedy club tickets to all of my live appearances across the country. And also watch the current episodes up to date, which is very, very fun. Watching is better than listening, I'll tell you that, especially when it comes to things like sex and stuff. You definitely want to watch it. You don't want to just hear it. So you can watch it and hear it for a small little thing at patreon.com/Jeff Dye. Episode 71 this week is the man, the myth, the legend, the larger-than-life, large voice, large body, large laugh. He is the greatest. He is a Jeff and Tony favorite. The first ever three-time guest on Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast, JC Currais. He's hilarious. He's on a Nickelodeon show. Do you remember the name of the Nickelodeon show? Oh yeah, Just Roll With It is the name of his Nickelodeon show. He's on Lethal Weapon. He's a very funny comedian. He did this great documentary, Just for Laughs, as one of the new faces last year, and I got to watch him tape a little bit of that. He's so funny and such a great stand-up comic. I know you'll love him. You probably already know him if you've listened to all the other episodes or watched. He's hilarious, and we were so excited to finally have him back on for the third time. Enjoy. To you, to my home, to you, the man, the myth, the legend, JC Currais. First ever, three-time podcast guest on Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast.
It's a fucking honor, guys.
Needs no introduction.
I cannot believe it. I got to thank my mom for fucking my dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what she
Without
contributed.
that, I wouldn't be here.
That one episode we had to do when it was like after a year, we didn't have an episode. You were on the road or whatever, and I did like a greatest hits. I had the hardest time. I was like, I'm putting JC on there. I didn't want to put anyone on there twice because I only picked like 10 clips. So we did 50-something episodes.
Yeah.
I had the hardest time picking.
We should have just reran the JC episode.
We could have. I had the hardest time
guys
picking what clip. I think I picked the episode of you.
How many of our other guests ran
naked
around
in a field,
naked in blood?
That's the one. Yeah, climbing the fence, cutting your feet.
Man, that was a fucking
The nurse,
time,
the
gang.
nurse stopping, saying, "I'm not helping you, but I am calling the
cops." It was probably the craziest moment ever. And what's so funny is that I know it was the anniversary of that. Today is technically when that happened.
Oh shit!
Anniversary of
What
that.
are the odds of that?
Because my buddy's birthday, it was his birthday, the night that I had, so it's the next day after.
What's the buddy's birthday's name?
Caleb.
Shout out Caleb.
Caleb.
You've
Yeah,
contributed.
his
Is he
birthday
gonna
was
have
yesterday. Happy birthday, belated.
You can have a rager again that we can all.
He lives in Boston right now, so I don't think I'm going to fly to Boston to end up naked in a really cold field.
Not tonight.
No.
Not
we have
tonight.
plans. We got comedy
We
plans.
got some plans.
The werewolf's
baby.
got to stay in.
Werewolf's got to stay in.
I love it.
Fucking stupid JC.
How long do we think we'll be alive?
I don't know. I'm shooting I'm going to try and hit the 50s.
Okay.
That's what I'm shooting for.
Yeah, Tony plays it real close to the hip. He's losing weight. He's healthy. No vices.
Fuck that.
He'll be alive longer.
You know what? I've really cut back on the cigarette smoking, so that's
Okay.
good.
That makes me happy to
That's
hear.
really good. Yeah, I'm like, even if I'm drinking now, I'll have like 1, 2. I used to be like, never smoke in the day, and then I would have like, if I got drunk, I'd smoke like 7 to 10 cigarettes,
Oh my god.
which is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at Comedy Works in Denver, and I just kept thinking, "Oh, I'll be dead very soon." Like, just every night, and then I'd wake
Really?
up all like sore and cramped. Like I couldn't bend my leg. It was like just stuck.
Just from
yeah,
like drinking or from
yeah, like
dehydrated?
drinking and just being out all night, and then
Got
going
it.
on.
Yeah.
I didn't eat most of the days. I just would like just drink the whole day and night, and the elevation, and then like me being like,
The elevation fucking kicks your ass. I went to a bachelor party in Denver, and actually it was Caleb's bachelor party.
Oh, man, this guy.
It's all coming
"You'll
back.
live longer without Caleb."
But yeah, I woke up the next day in that fucking we rented one of those like hotels that was essentially an apartment, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's just like too many beds and then like a fold out. And I woke up in my room, like the sheets were just, I was just wet. It was like someone walked in and dumped a bucket of water on me, but no one had. I just was sweating out booze.
Oh, that's
jeez.
so funny.
Also, like,
I'd love to smell that room.
oh my god, it smelled like whiskey. Like my sweat was sweet like bourbon.
That's hilarious.
It's a Jameson distillery.
It was literally like,
One time I was at yoga and sweating after like a long night of drinking, and there was a girl that just kept giving me glances like, ugh, like why am I next to this guy? And I remember it hurt my feelings so bad, but it's like, she ain't wrong.
she ain't.
She's not wrong.
He ain't wrong.
It's like when I get on the fucking plane and I'm hungover. I'm like, I'm so sorry, middle passenger. Your life
say
is
that to
about to change. I had a little, like, it was like a family. And I was like, they had bought seats, but clearly they didn't pay for like picking their seats. So it was like a dad in the middle seat on this side, and then the wife and the daughter on this side. So they were like, oh, we'll put the little girl in the middle seat, and that's what they had planned.
Nah.
And then I
Plans
came
changed.
walking in,
Plans
and
changed.
I sat down like, like sweating already. Like just boarding the plane was killing me. It's like I was literally dying
I like that
from boarding the plane.
part of your boarding process is shouting.
No! Oh
Oh,
God!
this isn't gonna
Are
happen.
we in fucking Philadelphia yet?
I love that.
Just so.
How'd they rectify that? Like, what'd they do?
Dude, so we sat down, then the wife literally moves the daughter into the window seat.
Right.
Like after I've sat down, I don't even pay attention. I got my fucking noise canceling headphones on, giant sunglasses, sweat just running down my body. Every piece of me. I've got the seatbelt extender on, but I'm like pinned into the chair like they've captured a monster and like synced him in. Like, oh God, we got a gorilla on the plane, lock it into its chair. And I'm like,
Hide the girl.
like, exactly. Like, and then like, I'm pinned in there. I'm too big for the seat. It's just the way it is. I'm too big. And I'm in it, but I'm like, oh, I fucking hate this. And then I catch it as I'm like watching the Delta like security shit.
Yeah.
I catch it out of the corner of my eye on this side. The wife's doing this, like trying to make eyes with something beyond me. So then I turn all the way, and the husband's literally got a face on like this. He's just like, like he's like whispering, it's
coaching
fine.
her, yeah.
He's like, you're gonna be okay, honey.
Yeah.
And then once the plane was in the air, the guy came and sat down next to me.
Yeah.
Instead of the wife, he
Move
switched
the-
spots with her.
Moved the wife into the,
Yeah.
and then he was guarding the daughter.
And you know what?
Sure.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. But
Fuck
it's
that
like,
guy.
Like if on the plane, at some point I was just gonna be like, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
I have to murder a woman and a child.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Oh, good.
You know
less resistance to the child.
People don't realize how hard it is to be on a plane when you're a big fella like
It's
us.
tough.
Oh, we
It's-
know. We can
No,
see how hard
people
it
don't
is.
give a shit. But people
can
don't give a
see
shit.
how
No,
hard
they
it
need
is.
more empathy.
Exactly.
But they
Yeah.
get it.
They're so
Oh, yeah.
people are so worked up. They're like, oh no, now I'm uncomfortable. Fuck you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's the
Fuck
airlines.
you.
Here's the thing. It's the airline's fault.
Yeah.
And I even have a fucking bit about it where I'm like, when I don't board planes anymore. I fucking hijack them. I take over the fucking
Do
flight.
you think that there's a line there too? Like if you open up, like, "Hi, my name's JC Currais. I'm the guy you don't want to sit next to on a plane."
Absolutely. I run into it because it's the facts. And everyone, it's like 100% how everyone feels, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I used to give a shit. I don't anymore. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have you should have upgraded to not have the middle seat.
That's
You
the
should have made
problem.
more money.
Bro, fuck you.
And for me,
I'm so sorry. If you're going to be a dick about it, fuck you.
I took a very opposite approach because I was on a flight for Christmas and coming home, and I was just like so uncomfortable. I was making everyone else uncomfortable. That was like a big catalyst of why I was like, I need to make some changes.
Oh, yeah.
And that helped me lose weight.
Yeah.
Because thinking about getting on
What
a
are you at,
plane.
90
But see,
pounds,
even
80
you-
pounds?
80 pounds,
80
yeah.
But
pounds?
see, I'm saying even you've lost 80 pounds.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable in the fucking
No, I'm
way.
still not comfortable.
Exactly.
I'm
Like,
still not comfortable,
you know
but
what
at
I mean?
least I fit.
Like you
on
met
my
James
seat.
Fry before.
Yeah.
He's just gigantic.
I'm a
Yeah.
big guy.
Can't
Yeah.
lose. He's fucking 6'6",
Yeah.
and he's built with a giant frame. He can't cut his arms off.
Right.
Like, it just can't happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I made now it's like I'm uncomfortable. I can get into a window seat and I can tuck myself against the window. My knees hurt because I'm hitting the seat in front of me, but at least the people next to me can live relatively unbothered by me.
See, I also, I always pay for the aisle.
Yeah.
I never encumber myself.
then you can
on
hang
it.
out outside.
I hang out.
Yeah.
I'm left the whole time. I pull the armrest up after takeoff.
Oh, I love that.
I'm fucking legs out in the aisle. Literally,
Which you've
I
got to
lay
be a
out.
half close-up magician to know how to pull that one up. Like, it's hard to get in there. There's like a little
little finger.
metal. There's like a little metal clit in there.
I'm very, very good with my hands.
You got to know the plain G spot. A lot of people
They're
don't.
tiny, but
a lot
they
of
do
people
work.
don't.
It's very tricky.
Some people think it's a myth, but it's
Yeah,
there.
no, it's
that
in there.
thing
You
goes up.
you can raise
Honestly,
it.
What's fucked up is I wish that the window armrest went up.
Yeah.
Because then I'd be in that window.
Yeah.
I'd be inside it.
That's what I try.
I'd
That's
be
what I do.
Yeah, 'cause the plane bows out.
That's what I do.
Dude, here's the other thing. When I got on a plane once and they held the plane, not for me. I had another friend who's a big guy.
Yeah.
I travel with a seatbelt extender.
Oh,
'Cause I'm
you
like,
have one.
Fuck that.
Wow.
I stole one. I just took it off a Delta flight.
That's the JC I know.
Suck my dick.
That's the JC I
just
know.
left with it.
Yeah, they're not collecting it.
They don't give a
They
shit.
expect you to leave it behind.
They don't give a fuck. But my buddy didn't have one. They didn't have an extra one. They held the plane.
Oh, now everyone hates the guy more.
Oh
This
my
poor
god,
guy.
that poor. And the thing is that I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, it ain't this fat asshole.
You're like,
It's that one.
should have brought your own.
But it's fucked up because, it's not. Here's the thing: if he didn't wear his seatbelt,
Yeah.
nothing would change.
No one cares.
Yeah,
I never wear
If the
mine.
plane goes down, that seatbelt's just there to cut you in half.
Oh, yeah.
That's the entire.
I never wear
purpose
mine,
of it.
and I just kind of when I'm sitting there, I just kind of I'm just chilling like this. Anyways, they just look by. They're looking. They don't.
I know.
I'm never
Shit.
wearing it. I'm never wearing it.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And it's only to fuck with people.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a
they
power
get- it's
trip, a weird
it is,
power
it
trip.
is.
Yeah. I hate flight attendants. Always have.
Ooh.
Always have.
It just kind of depends. I hate this last trip I took back from Milwaukee. The flight attendants were great. The gate attendant was a piece of shit. I got upgraded.
Oh, nice.
Right? I got upgraded to Comfort Plus, but she's upgrading me, and I'm like, hey, if it's not to first class, don't upgrade me. Because she was upgrading me into a Comfort Plus middle seat.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
that's
I don't want
counterproductive.
that.
Yeah,
Right.
that's counterproductive.
And then she was like, it's already happened. I've given your other seat away.
You're like, why'd
And
you
I'm
do
like,
that?
What do you mean? That's not what I want.
Yeah,
I
paid
paid
for
for
that.
an aisle. I need an aisle. And she's like, you're in the middle. It'll be fine. It's more space. I'm like, it's not more space.
It's more leg room.
It's more leg room.
I'm not
but it is
6'9".
not more
Yeah,
fucking space.
interesting. What'd she say to that?
She literally said, are you arguing with me about getting an upgrade? Sir, get on the plane. Like, in my shit. And then I literally went, okay, so you're a piece of shit. And
Yeah.
then I walked on the plane.
Nice.
And I found the fucking flight. And I was like, hey, she fucked up. She moved me into a seat that I can't even be in. It's
Right.
an emergency exit row. I got to wear a seatbelt extender. So I use that all the time.
nice,
Where I'm like,
nice.
I can't sit there.
Yeah. But I think,
Those are your rules,
yeah, you're
motherfucker.
being more compliant
Right.
and respectful of the thing.
Yes.
Did you go to your old seat and see who they
I
gave
did
to?
not. They went and found two guys
Who were-
because the thing is that the aisle and the middle were open, which would have been perfect for me. But in the emergency exit row, those armrests don't move. They're like locked in place
Right.
bars.
Some of them don't even go back.
Right. So you're fucking trapped in there. she found 2 dudes who wanted the extra leg space.
Yeah.
And they were like, dope. They moved in that seat. And then
Yeah.
I had an empty seat next to me,
Perfect.
which was heaven.
Yeah,
Well, and also
that's
like when
always
you
the
start flying
biggest
like
victory.
first class, it's gonna be so much more enjoyable for
I
you.
know. So literally, like they were like about to give me first class, but a dude who wasn't checked in showed up. So I was this close.
Yeah,
Because
but-
I'll get the upgrade.
Fuck that guy
sometime.
too.
I would have had the upgrade to go to first class.
Yeah.
Because I got status.
Well, that guy
but
bought his
then
first
that
class.
yeah,
I
he
know,
bought
but
it,
still,
exactly.
he's inconveniencing my friend. So
Sure,
fuck him.
sure. I hated him too.
Yeah.
But for, dumb reasons.
I've never flown first class. So
But wait,
I'm-
you picked your friend.
So fancy.
You picked your friend over a stranger you don't know.
Hit the button.
Hit the button.
Hit the button.
Don't know him. I know him.
Yeah, but I'm not killing this man. He's
That's
just gonna
true.
sit in the back.
But I
Man,
would.
I would have killed him in that moment. I was so hungover and tired. If
Well-
they would have been like, if you hit this button, the guy who checked into the seat in first class you would have got, a fucking little hole will open up in the plane, he'll get sucked out. I would have 100%.
Ejecto seat.
I would have been like, boop, right when the plane took off, during takeoff.
Yeah.
Would have really shook everybody, and then I would have slowly got up with my carry-on and be like, all right.
You know who has the opposite problem is this tiny viral guy who's going famous on the internet, the little bagel shop
Bagel Boss
guy.
guy.
Dude, you know this story?
No.
This
Oh,
little
no,
guy-
the guy who got into the heat, somebody punched him, right?
He like
Well,
choked
he
him.
started a fight with 2 guys, and then one guy just took him up on
He's
it.
like, all right.
Yeah, well,
Which,
so
at some point, you got to realize that's a thing.
oh yeah. If you go barking up the wrong tree,
You're
it's
going to
gonna.
get
The
punched
tree's
in the
gonna bark
face.
back.
So people that don't know about this guy, I mean, he's pretty famous right now, and by the time this airs, he'll be even more of a flash in the
Afterthought,
pan.
Sure,
Yeah.
or he'll have
But-
100 million Instagram
A
followers.
video came out pretty recently of him interviewing, like that someone interviewed him. It's like a 10-minute interview on the local news.
Yeah.
There's so many funny parts in that.
Really?
Video. Yeah. If you don't know who we're talking about, he's this tiny man who like just loses his shit in a bagel store because the woman behind the counter started snickering at his because he's like 5 foot even.
Right. And he probably walks around like, listen to me. You better fucking listen.
Yeah.
You motherfucker. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, shut up, you little guy.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm sick and tired of it. These women, they take advantage of me. They take their money. They say they're fine with me, and then they don't want to go on another date with me. They make fun of my height. And in the video, he calls himself a modern day prophet, the modern day Martin Luther King, and he believes he's the hero. And the reason people are responding to the video is because they think he's a hero sticking up for anti-bullying.
No.
That's not why we're watching it,
It's
dude.
not. It's that if there's a little man getting punched in the face,
It's
I'm
'cause he
probably
get
gonna
dunked
watch
Because he
on.
deserved it.
And he
Yeah,
gets
that's the
dunked
thing.
on.
He's this yappy little dog that like somebody silenced. That's what was good.
And it happens quickly.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. Like he's talking shit to these girls, and then another guy, he's like, "You want to step outside? Do you want to step outside?" And one guy just
takes him up
from
on
off
it.
camera. He's like, "I've had enough," and he says 2 words, and he's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" And then he does it.
Right. Which is fantastic.
Which is great.
Oh, what are you gonna
There's
do?
not there's not the peacocking. There's not
This.
this long peacocking. It's just like,
Right.
all right, grabs him by his little
I'm
neck.
gonna do bad things with my hands to you.
Because you've just asked for it.
Yeah.
You
Well,
told me to do it.
And the guy was probably 5'8", but he looks like he's 6'9" compared to the bagel guy.
Ah, he looks like he's a fucking giant.
the best
Giant murders midget.
Goliath wins.
Exactly. Goliath wins. And then they interview him and he's fucking 5'7".
Yeah, he's like, what? This is an honor.
Yeah.
To be considered a giant.
It's like, I can't even reach the tall cabinets in my house.
My 2 favorite parts is that he was like, he's telling all these reasons about why he finally snapped.
Yeah.
And he goes, he's like ranting, like he was not even talking about the bagel shop thing. He just keeps talking about all the stuff
These
that's
dating apps.
happened to him. You know, he's like, the people do this and they bully me. I've been robbed right over there. I had this thing. Nobody cares. I built a website with a guy and then he bailed and then he never paid me back the $175 that he owes me. The $175. And he's going crazy. But one of the best parts is he's like, oh, and then recently, the guy that owns the building, my landlord, he didn't tell me that it got foreclosed on, and then he told me I have like a week to leave. So now I live with my parents in a van by choice. You're like, what do you mean by choice?
By choice. I love that van. I've loved it since I was a kid.
You told us the circumstances
You
in
got
which it happened.
Yeah, you got evicted.
Yeah, that's not by choice.
No, the van part's by choice.
Oh, you
He
got
could
it.
live at his
Oh, he
parents'
could live
house.
inside.
Right, he could, but he chooses he wants to be in the van.
He's a strong, independent man.
The moneyest moment on the video. He talks about how he shows this little blood mark that he got from the man taking him down, and then he goes, and I hurt my leg. But that was because I was just burning off some anger at my parents' house in the woods, hitting trees with a miniature Yankees baseball bat. Dude, how funny
Unpack
is
And
that?
then there's a picture of him holding it.
Oh, there is?
You ever see that?
I haven't seen
There's
this
a picture
picture.
of him holding this mini bat on
But
the
also, like,
internet.
those little mini bats, they're so adorable and
Yeah.
hilarious. He's using that outside to, like, to let out some rage
to bang on things.
on the trees, and he's admitting to it on the. Oh, it's so money.
Well, because obviously what that guy has is an inability to shut his own mouth.
Oh, yeah.
He just rattles. It just
crazy.
goes and goes and goes and goes.
He called himself John Lennon. He's like, I'm prolonging their message. I'm prolonging their message.
Great.
Yeah, what a prophet. It's the weirdest thing. I want to see this image though.
I gotta see if I can find it.
He's like a mini baseball player, like the player they hired in the old days.
How short is he?
5 foot is what he claims, but I think he's probably a little smaller.
He's a little smaller.
I'm guessing.
My
Because I don't think people would
My old
snicker.
roommate was dating a woman who was very, very tiny like that, and she would get like she would stand in for like children and stuff like
Oh,
that.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she made it a positive.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
and again, I think as a lady, it's not as big a deal.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
I think,
Height-wise,
I
at
think it was
least.
just I think it was an image that was. It was just a part of the interview. They like showed him holding it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that makes me so happy. Because those little miniature bats, we used to always joke, like, I bet if I was a little kid, I could use this thing.
Well, even then, I think one-handed, you could fuck somebody up with it.
Yeah, like
you
a
hit him
little-
in the right place.
Love that he's hitting trees with a mini
He's taking
Yankees
cuts.
baseball bat.
He's not using one hand.
The
He's taking full cuts.
specificity of it, too. Miniature Yankees baseball bat.
He just wanted to rep Yankees.
Yeah, he
That's
just
all
wants them to know.
Because he's New York, right?
It's one of these
For
freebies.
sure. He's like big time
He is
New
a
York.
New York
He's
guy.
a New York guy.
Yeah.
And that's all, that whole fucking like that whole state and especially the city. There's just like it's overflown with machismo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
People
it's like-
love to tell you how New York they are.
I know.
If they're from New York. Like
He said that he had to drive into town and meet his friend and his friend's girlfriend so they could show him the video and how popular it was.
Yeah.
So that means he doesn't have like Wi-Fi or anything. Like, doesn't have like a
He lives in a van.
This wasn't as long ago.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
we
it
all
does
have
happen.
internet on our phones, and he's
didn't
like,
have a phone?
Yeah, I drove into the city and they showed me. They told me he's got like 40 million hits. It's like, what are you
crazy.
kidding me?
It's like, how did I know? It's like, because I got my flip phone still.
Oh, he's telling me celebrities are watching it and they call me a celebrity. I was like, I don't.
And apparently there was another rant that he was on camera.
Yeah, he posted it though. That's the
Yeah.
weird thing. He goes, you think that's good? Watch this. And it was like a 7-Eleven one.
Yeah.
And guess how that happened? The two guys behind him go, how tall are you? And he lost his mind because the strangers just opened with how tall are you? And then the other one was a different 7-Eleven where the guy, when he walked in, he goes, what is your height?
What is your height?
Which is messed up.
It's kind of
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
dickish.
I get it. Like I get like why it's like it'd be like if somebody was like, "Hey man, what'd you weigh?"
Yeah, just right away.
But here's the other thing. Every day of my life, somebody calls me big man. Every day, a stranger refers to me as big man.
Hey, how you doing there, big man? Yeah.
Every day.
Does
Yeah.
it bother you?
No.
I love it.
I get it. It'd be like, here's the thing. Like, it's the same thing if somebody came up to that guy and was like, "What's up, little man?" He'd lose his mind.
You
Right,
couldn't handle
right.
He'd
it.
lose his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens. I get in an Uber. Like,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on, big man?
Hey, how's it going, big man?
Yeah.
I like
Every
it.
day.
I do too. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine with me.
I think the first time
I forget that I'm big. Like, I'll like walk down the street. I'm like, oh, there's some shady characters over there. And I like get a little worried. But then I remember, I'm like, oh, I'm a fucking giant.
yeah, they're not going to go after
I
you.
don't need to worry about
I
it.
was talking about that. If I was a criminal, which I'm not, I would just knock out women. I'd just knock out women and steal their stuff. They're not going to fight
Which
back.
I'm not.
Yeah, I just want everyone to know I wouldn't. And I'm not a criminal. But why risk dealing with giants when I
Well,
can just knock out a
we're-
lady?
Yeah, we're not targets. I don't think so. Just especially with the beards,
Yeah.
the hair. We again like maybe the Hawaiian shirt makes me more of one.
No.
I'll bring it on. I'll have my phone out like this too. Like someone run by and try to take
Dare you
it.
to snatch
Attempt to.
this. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is like, think about it. It's just the least amount of resistance. Oh, she's tiny.
Right.
She probably has way more expensive stuff than any dude I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women just walk around with crap all over them. Like a.
I feel like most of the time, if I walk past a shady group of dudes, like I was in Vegas and I was like really fucking drunk, and I couldn't figure out how to get back to the hotel or to order a lift.
Yeah.
I couldn't, like everything was wrong, and I was walking past like a group of guys in it was like off of Old Vegas, like Fremont. And
Oh,
I was,
even
like,
worse.
walking
Yeah.
And like just like looking like a target.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, straighten up, so these dudes don't think they can just fuck up this drunk guy. And all that happened is they were like, look at this Chum Lee looking motherfucker. That's it. They were just like, you look like Chum Lee, homie. They just ragged on me.
That's the Vegas
That's it. They were just
measuring
like,
stick.
you see Paul Stars, motherfucker? You look like the fat one.
Yeah.
I was just like, thank you.
See you later.
Not Rob. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. But also, fuck those guys too.
Fuck. I was not bothered at all by them because they helped me get a lift.
Yeah.
Literally, those guys were probably no one talked to them the whole fucking night.
Oh, yeah.
So when they were like, yo, you look like Chumley, I was like, I do. Hello.
Do you guys
I'm
have...
trying to figure out what street I'm on. Now, if you gentlemen could help a stranger, I'd appreciate it. And then they were just nice.
Yeah.
But everyone else would have been like, oh, these black guys, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
No,
terrified
they
of
were
that.
happy you were
just
nice
had
to
a
them
nice
too.
chat,
Yeah.
and then
They might have saw you coming going, this guy might rough us up.
Dude, they were like, one of them was like, you got a cigarette? I was like, I have a cigarette.
Oh, nice.
I was their best friend.
I love that. Do you like Vegas as a comedian or as a...
I like Vegas to party in. I mean, like, the shows can be hit or miss. Like, you can have great shows.
Yeah, I've never crushed in Vegas.
You could have a fucking great show. It's just like, it just depends on the fucking...
Because they're all tourists
It's
and
all
old.
tourists.
Like, think about like us, like our age, we love stand-up comedy, but we still wouldn't go if we were in Vegas.
No,
Yeah, that's
see,
the last thing
you
you're gonna
can't
think about.
judge, like, we wouldn't because we do it.
Yeah, but
Like,
my parents
I
might.
would rarely go to a show if in town unless my buddy was on it, and I wasn't going to see him do stand-up.
Right.
I'm going to hang out.
But I'm saying like people our age who are cool and hot and young
Yeah,
and
I
like
think it
women,
just depends on the venue and the show.
they don't do that in Vegas. They'll go to
Like at the Strat, a lot of people, LA Comedy Club, they'll get like young people. who
Oh,
come
really?
in because the shows are at like 8:00.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. So people are going to go hammed
So they're like,
afterwards.
and they do an all-you-can-drink special. So everyone's like, we pregame at the comedy show. So they go
Yeah.
in and get loaded, and they're having a great time, and then they leave.
See, that sounds fun.
That's great.
Yeah.
I used to
I've
look,
only played like the places like the Improv and the,
See, the comedy
Brad
clubs-
Garrett's, and like
Well,
they're
like,
selling $100
honestly,
tickets to
I
see
lived-
me.
I
No,
lived
that's the
in
thing.
Vegas for a
It's
year.
all going to be old people with that.
I lived in
Yeah.
Vegas for a year and didn't even know that there was comedy there just because there's so much entertainment.
Yeah.
There's so much
I wouldn't
entertainment.
think that there was to go to a comedy show unless
Yeah.
it was like,
LA Comedy Club runs their shit like it's like $28 and you get the comedy show and all you can drink.
See, that's insane.
So that's just, they're like, come on in.
Yeah.
And then that's where the fucking locals and the young people go.
See, that's what I should work. I'm doing Jimmy Kimmel's Club there soon, and I don't
I've only heard good things.
always dread Vegas.
Yeah.
So like I said yes because it's a new Vegas
It's
club.
new.
I was
But
like,
I
we'll see.
guarantee you tickets are $70.
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
Dude, LA, the money's a little lower, obviously, at LA Comedy Club because they're working on a lower scale.
Sure.
But it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Quick drive.
I like going into Vegas. I like the guys who run that club.
Okay.
They're super fun and they party.
I like
and
that.
it's like really, really laid back. So that's always good for me. Like when you go to a club and it's all very like, ooh, it's a business. I'm like, fuck you. This is stupid.
It's supposed to be wild and fun.
We're
Yeah,
having
yeah,
fun. It's
yeah.
jokes.
Especially in Vegas.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the most ironic part. Like the guy comes out with like suit and it's like, are you ready to perform? It's like, we're not the freaking,
Like, well, or
Frank
just like if I'm
Sinatra.
fucking
it's not Vegas then.
when you bring me into your comedy club and I start ordering double Tito's and soda over and over and over again, and then you have the audacity to go, but we still need you to perform. And I'm like, yeah, I'm preparing myself to do your bullshit. Like, you're going to get a great show out
I'm
of me.
filling the bus full of gas.
Yeah, exactly. The minute I fuck up, then you can talk shit.
Right.
But do not fucking like I hate it when they throttle my drinks or like, because they'll do that. They'll just start taking longer.
Oh,
and then
no.
I'll just fucking go to the bar.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Dude, I literally was on stage. I forget where it was at. I think it was in El Paso at the comic strip.
Yeah.
And I ordered a drink from stage. And it was like, it took 20 minutes.
Oh.
And I literally was like, hey, I'll walk off stage and go get the drink. I am parched. And I will
love
have
that.
a drink.
That's the best.
I'm doing an hour. Like, I need something to wet this
Yeah,
mouth
exactly.
area.
That's so funny. I was ordering shots from the staff at the Comedy Works in Denver, the downtown
Yeah.
club, and it's such a good staff that not only did it come really quick, but like They were pouring it, so, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna get jacked up here.
You're saying,
Way
like,
too
"Hey,
easy.
man."
And like, yeah, that's the thing. When an alcoholic's going, these pours are outrageous. Like, it was like
They're
that.
too high.
Yeah, it was like the staff was just like so nice and so good about that.
Yeah.
So every time they brought me a shot, I would have the empty glass on stage that I'd already taken, and I would pour half out and pick an audience member. Like, just we're drinking a shot together. It's just too much, man. And it's especially too much in Denver.
Because the altitude.
Yeah, crush me, man.
Yeah, because like one shot is like 2 shots.
Right. And if she's pouring me 4 shots, it's like
You're
8.
taking 8.
Yeah, it's not
You
good.
get 1 shot and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and I'm recording my album. I don't need that. Like, this one track is pretty good on the Friday early, but you slurred all the word. It's like, ugh, I didn't want none of that. What's your least favorite comedy club? And we'll blank the name, but then you can tell us why.
We could just say it.
Oh, nice. I don't have to do any editing. It
Yeah,
makes me
I mean,
happy. So
there's some
fun.
really shitty
So
ones
fun.
in Florida. There's a Comedy Zone in Clarksville, Tennessee that's really awful.
Okay.
And now, here's the thing.
Clarksville,
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Well, it's mostly not the club's fault. First off, it's not a comedy club. It's a bar that does comedy.
I think I've done that. Wrong.
And the hotel is a motel, and it's like checking into the Bates. If the Bates Motel, instead of having a murderer, had 30 meth heads living in it.
Oh, jeez.
It's like
Which are potential murders.
The Hills,
just as-
the
probably
Hills
worse.
had no teeth and tons of meth. Like, I walked in, and when I'm checking into my room, I walk past an open door.
Oh, God.
And it's just 4 dudes in wife beaters. One of them is in boxer briefs. The other ones are in like Jinko jeans. They look like they're John Cena without any muscles. And then there's just a woman in her underwear asleep on the floor
Oh, no.
at the entrance of the doorway. And they're all just standing there smoking cigarettes with the door open. And I walked in and was like, hello. Like, I think
Right.
greetings.
Yeah. Was this a crime?
Yeah.
Hello, hill people.
Yeah.
And then I get to my room. I'm like, well, that's 7. Mine's 8. Yikes. Those are my neighbors.
Yeah.
I get to 8. No door.
Oh, no.
Just not open.
Just none.
No door.
Like
door.
Schlitz Creek.
Like
they
someone,
just like took the
someone
door
just
off.
took
Schitt's
the
Creek,
door
yeah.
off. And I was just like, well, that's not going to work for me. So I walk back, and the guy's like, the best is I go, hey, man, gave me the key to 8, and the door's gone. And
Yeah,
the guy
it's not needed.
The guy stood up and went, fuck, again? Yeah.
Which is funny because you're like, I either need you to come bring me a door,
Right.
or here's your key back.
Oh, I
Don't
just
need a
got me
key.
a different room. No,
Don't need
I-
it.
I was clearly, he knew I wanted another room.
Yeah.
But I
You can
just
switch
love
with
that
those 4
his
meth heads
reaction-
and that naked girl because
Jesus.
they don't
I
care about a
didn't
door.
even Bring that up.
Yeah, they don't care about a door. Switch with those people.
I just loved how angry he was that they'd taken his
Again.
door once again. And is it always 8? Like, that's what I wanted to ask.
So
I had so
funny.
many questions, but I was so tired from driving. That one was exceptionally bad. It's a military area, and like when you're a no-name comic and it's a bunch of fucking military guys, they're letting off steam.
Sure.
They're not
yeah,
giving
yeah.
you the benefit of the doubt. They don't want to hear anything that's not what they want to hear. So
Right.
it's like I had to go up and just be like, dick, pussy, 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 pussy,
Right.
dick, drink, drink, drink. And you got to really sell into that. Like, I feel like I would like do more of a Southern accent. Like, like I had to like sell it to them.
Yeah.
And afterwards I just felt dirty and like,
I
was
will
like,
be
hate
what they
that.
need me
That's
to
what
be.
They would have eaten me alive had I not.
It's just an ideal.
Like the guy that came in middle, Jesus Christ, they booed him. They booed him.
Oh,
They're just booing this kid
Yeah.
as a child. And they're like, boo, you suck dick. Yeah, you go back to wherever you suck dick from, you shithead. Oh, God. And I'm in the wings like, get out of here,
yeah,
kid.
just call it a night.
Get out of here. All
Run.
these guys know how to use a gun.
Don't
Yeah.
go back to the motel. Your stuff's probably stolen. Just
Yeah.
get out.
Just say thank you. That's my time. That's
If
all.
you're lucky enough, trade places with the asleep girl and act like you're her for an hour. It'd be worse than it'd be better than what's happening to you right now.
That's so funny.
Um,
I don't even know where they find openers for that kind of stuff.
He's clearly a Knoxville guy, probably.
Ugh,
Drove in
so
from Knoxville,
brutal.
probably drove back to Knoxville.
Have you ever
I
done
don't
Rooster
know.
Teeth Feathers?
I haven't.
Oh, it was brutal for me.
Is it brutal?
Yeah, and it's a lot of it's not the club's fault or anything. It was just like there's nobody in that area. Like it's like the whole city shuts
Where's it
down.
at?
We couldn't even find a bar to like drink at after the show. It's in this little town that's in between Sacramento and like San Francisco.
Sunnyvale?
Sunnyvale, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
But there's nothing going on there.
Yeah.
We couldn't find lunch. We couldn't find a bar to drink. We couldn't find anything. Why are people going to come to a comedy show? And so nobody's in the crowd. And the guy that opened for me was not good. And then the host was a girl who won a competition. And since she won the competition, she won her first weekend as a comedian. So it's just like, ugh.
Poor her.
Yeah.
And poor the guy in front of you, too. It's like, here's the thing. The middle spot's dead.
Yeah.
All over the country. So, like, it used to be up-and-comers.
Right.
That's who used to come and open for guys.
But now it's not worth it.
Right. There's no money in it.
They're like, hey, would you like to fly all the way across the country on your dime?
To break even.
And then you still got to eat and drink.
Right.
We'll get you a hotel room, but then you'll make $100. And you're like, no.
That's what it is.
Yes.
Even like the Funny Bones. Like, I think the middle spot in the Funny Bones like $700. Mm-hmm. You know? So it's like, if I'm trying to get my buddy to come with me to go to fucking Albany,
He's not going to want to, yeah.
Well, it's even if he does, he's going to pay $300-$400 for that plane ticket.
Yeah.
Then he's already more than half of the money's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then he's doing comedy for $100 a night, which isn't awful, but he flew all that way.
Exactly.
So then it's all based on merch for him.
Yeah.
And if you don't have good merch, you're fucked.
I agree with that. But and also, like, sometimes you'll run into headliners that don't want you to sell merch. I don't know who these monsters are, but they'll tell like
They're fucking monsters.
Exactly.
They're monsters.
It's interesting. Like I'm now getting into opening. So like I've never opened. I did that for such a small amount of time that I just jumped right to headliner because of Last Comic Standing, and I don't like bringing an opener anymore because at first they're like I'm just grateful to be on the shows, and it quickly turns into like this is not enough money, and why aren't you giving me some of yours? Right. And me being like I don't make enough. Like I just that's not what I had in mind.
Well, it's also like when it's like a door deal. Yeah. It just gets like. It could get weird.
Yeah.
But
now
also,
I'm telling my friend to their face, like, I'm sorry, dude.
This is what the
I'm
money
not giving
is.
you the money I made to have you come open for me.
You just also have to have like a good enough relationship. Like I'll go with Sam Comro all the time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get he gets all the money for the show and then he divvies it out as he sees fit. And it works out. Like where you're like, you know what? This week I came up real good, and then like a different one, it won't be as good. But it's all based on what he makes.
Okay.
Also, with America's Got Talent, my merch is great, so I don't mind it.
I like that.
So my merch sells.
That's great.
Right. So it's like
I'm opening for Dane Cook. I just booked 5 dates opening for Dane.
Nice.
Just through Dane. And by the time this airs, I'll have already done it. So I don't want to say anything about it yet because I don't know. But I'm curious what my pay will be, and I'm very curious how I'm getting there. Is it going to be, do I fly or am I on the plane with him?
Where it just kind of depends on the venues,
each night's different, and they're giant casinos.
So I think
and he has a private plane.
So
but I just don't know.
That's going to be all stuff that you got to check with.
I know, dude. But I said yes before I took the dates.
Well, here's the thing.
So I'm going to like be venturing into an interesting.
It's interesting because probably the casinos. That's the worst place to open for anybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they're casinos,
and they also don't care about the opener. I'm going to be going out cold. Yeah, they're exactly
right. They don't give a shit. If it was comedy clubs that he was, or like theaters, then I would be like, that's what's up, because that's where all the money's at. Like, so when Sam does a theater, that money's real good.
Well, but casinos have good money.
That's true. That's true. And he's a huge name.
Yeah.
And they're probably paying him a pretty penny to go there. It's just depending on if he's paying you, if the club's paying you.
We'll see. It's going to be really interesting.
It's a lot of
questions.
It's
also the best type of opening as far as like, I'm going to be proud just to be opening for Dane Cook.
It's just,
as
it's
far
a cool
as like,
thing.
when I first started comedy, I lied about opening for Dane Cook. I like went into a comedy club, I got nervous and was like, oh no. They're gonna know that I have never done stand up. They're not gonna let me on stage. So like a moron, I just made it off the top of my head. They're like, "How's it going, man?" I was like, "I'm here just to do comedy." And like, "You here for the open mic?" I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yeah, I open up for Dane Cook and Bill Dwyer," and they looked at me like, "What?" Like,
huh?
I don't understand. And that, like, so they're like, all right, just sign up over there. And he was like real sweet to me about it. But also I could tell everyone knew I was full of shit. There was like no one more famous than Dane Cook.
Get over to the open mic, you fucking
And I've
liar.
never heard of an open mic.
You fucking
So for
liar.
me, it's kind of a full circle thing as far as like I'll be able to say and do and if it's a total nightmare or whatever, because Dane
It's
doesn't.
only 5.
Yeah.
It's only 5 nights, so fuck it.
Yeah.
Are they all separate or are they all together?
2 together, and then I come home for like a week and a half, and then it's 3 in a row.
That's fine, bro.
And I'll be able to feel it out by those first 2.
It won't be bad.
Yeah.
Like you're just doing 2. It's too short of a run.
Yeah.
If you were doing 5 separate one-nighters, then I'd be like, because
Yeah.
here's the thing: even if you get fucked on money, it'll at least cover travel, and you're doing 2. It's only
Right.
2 travels.
Yeah, it's
So it's
easy.
not terrible.
When I imagine we're gonna land, and there'll be like some sort of tour bus or something, because we're going from city to city, and
Right.
I know Dane real well that way. Like
Right.
he's not gonna.
Skimp on that.
Well, and he's especially not if it's for him. Like I'm gonna be
Right.
riding with him, so like
So
it's
you'll
gonna
be
be
fine.
yeah. We'll see though. Have you opened for like a big acts like that? I mean, Sam Comer's big, but
Yeah, I mean, like I've done stuff not like traveling with them though.
Oh, yeah.
I've gotten paired up with them because I was there. So like I opened for Ralphie in Florida
Oh,
one
nice.
time because I was the local
yeah.
opener.
Was he nice to you?
Super nice.
Oh man, I'm so jealous.
Super nice. He made like he was like, they always put the fat guys with me, like something like that. But he was just real nice, and it was like a back and forth. Like my buddy did one show, I did one show. Super nice, and then my buddy Kevin Barnett was opening for Hannibal in Miami, and he got me on that show,
Oh, nice.
which was dope.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like it was cool, and it was more cool. I did fucking very little time. And it was just very kind of them to do that for
Yeah.
me. And then I just went out with them afterwards, which was great.
Which is always fun. Yeah.
Which was super nice. And that's the thing. Hannibal was so nice. But if he remembered me, I would be shocked.
Yeah. I just worked with Hannibal recently. We didn't see him.
Yeah, really.
He was at his own
He
like
wasn't,
private.
He wasn't where he's at now
Right.
when that was. It was before I even moved out here.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Kumail. Forrest Shaw, who I was good buddies with, Miami dude, was on the road. And he literally goes, hey, my buddy's in town auditioning for this Mike Judge project.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants a ride to go and do a bunch of shows. And I booked spots for you and him if you drive him around. I
Yeah.
said, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't even know who it is. Pulled up to the hotel. It's Kumail. I was like, holy shit. Like,
Dude, this is such a good commercial for young comedians if you're
Yeah.
watching. Be the guy that the comics want to hang out with.
right.
I mean, because like we were supposed to do a gig. My
Yeah.
agent put a kibosh on it pretty hard, and I only took the gig because I wanted to hang out with you and James.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we were gonna drive up to
Oh,
Sacramento.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the beer
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
the
yeah.
second that hit the internet, my agents called me and go, absolutely not, this is not happening. And I was like, why? And they're like, it's not gonna happen.
You're not doing it.
Yeah, there's zero chance. It's like
It's
this is,
hilarious.
yeah. So he put kibosh, but I tried to take it just because I was like, I want to hang out with those guys.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. That gig is just fun. Like, dude, next time, not that. Hey, agents that are listening, just don't tell them you're going.
Yeah, I'll have to just not advertise
Yeah,
it.
just go.
I think the bar or something posted my photo.
Of course they did because he put you as the headliner. The next
Yeah.
time we'll go, we'll just have a secret.
Yeah, then I could do those.
Secret
'Cause
special
guess
boy.
who won't know? You know?
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. He's like, well, you're just gonna if you want to lose all that money that you're gonna make in Sacramento when we have you do shows there. And I said, okay, I don't work that area anyways. And they
Right.
go, still not gonna happen. Like
Well,
they,
it's one of those things where it's like, the one nighter at this brewery that's not even in Sac.
right.
It's in Davis, California,
Sure,
or some
sure.
shit. Honestly, that show is fun.
Yeah.
It gets like 400 people out. And it's more about getting fucking blackout
having
drunk
fun,
on
yeah.
that free beer from that brewery.
Which is the opposite of opening for Dane Cook.
Yeah.
You do not go out and get blitzed with Dane Cook afterwards. That's not
Is that a
thing.
thing?
He doesn't drink. He's never had a drop of alcohol.
Oh, shut up. I didn't know that.
This is a great
That's
story.
why me and him would be great friends.
Yeah, well, you'd be great friends with lots of people. This is a great, funny story about my good friend and a friend of the podcast, Josh Nelson. One time we're at a bar. It's me, DJ Demers. We're watching the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals against, I think,
Cleveland.
must have been Cleveland. Yeah, it wasn't when the Toronto series. This is the year before Cleveland.
Yeah.
And we're watching the games, and we're doing whatever. And we're kind of doing what we do on the podcast. We're just talking like comics talking.
Yeah, shoot the
if you
shit.
got a story about somebody, you share it. And Dane Cook comes up, and I said
yeah.
something about that. And then Josh Nelson goes, oh, Dane Cook was so nice to me. I don't know why anyone would say anything bad about him. Dude, he came, he did my show. He performed. He came off stage. He was nice to me. We had beers together. We drank, and he was telling us stories about Boston. And and there was other people at the table, not just DJ Demers, but there's other people at the table, DJ, me, and I just go, no, I didn't. And he goes, what? I go, no, I didn't. And he goes, what are you talking about? I go, he didn't drink and have beers with you and tell you stories. And he goes, yes, he did. And he's also a little annoyed and kind of embarrassed because I'm saying it in front of everyone.
He's like, hey, man.
Yeah, that was the story. And I'm just like kiboshing it. And I go, well, listen, all that might have been true, but there's zero chance he had a beer with you.
Right.
And he goes, yes, he did. I was at a brewery, blah, blah, blah. And he's doing this thing.
I watched you have it.
I took out my cell phone. I texted Dane Cook. I said, have you ever drank beers? Have you ever had alcohol? Blah, blah, blah. All right, I go, have you ever had beers? And I go, question mark. And then he replies back, never. I've never had a drop of alcohol in my life. And then I just showed it to Josh. And it's funny, it's like, this is such a sign of modern times.
Yeah.
Like not even that long ago, you could probably tell a tale about a celebrity.
Yeah, you could weave a yarn.
Yeah, and even if I disagree, you could go, I promise you that it's true.
On to the next.
I had immediate access to Dane Cook. Like, that's not
Also,
real.
you are someone who has immediate access to people like that. So he picked the wrong person to bullshit in front of.
He was like, damn it. Maybe. It was like so funny.
I meant root beers.
Yeah, he still talks about it too, which is so funny. Like
Well, yeah, because
he
sunk his battleship.
He
in front of
misremembered
everybody.
it. Yeah. Well, he misremembered. I wasn't mad at him for it. I
That's pretty
didn't
funny.
definitely don't think he was lying, but
Right.
I think probably he was drunk. Dane Cook came and talked to him and hung out for a little
he
bit.
was like, oh man, I got drunk with Dane Cook.
Yeah, and I don't think that was the case, Josh. But it's still so funny.
And I don't think that was the case.
Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
Sean William Scott, pretty.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's a cool guy.
He was so fucking nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
Love him.
Damon Wayans was not. I wouldn't call it nice. I would say he was professional.
Yeah.
But both of them were pretty fat. I was pretty like
How'd you meet Sean William Scott?
on Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, both of them were. It was like when I met Sean William Scott, I was like,
Oh, right.
and I had all the scenes with him, and he was just like all that like, oh my god, you're Stifler went out
fade.
the window,
Yeah, 'cause you gotta,
like right away because
gotta
he's
turn
just
it on.
such a fucking like. He's such a normal dude
I love that.
that it's gone right away. He's just like, hey man,
Oh, I love
what's
that.
going on? I'm so excited. Like I watched your tape. And
Oh,
I'm like,
nice.
Holy shit!
I love that.
Wait, the audition tape or the?
Yeah, he watched,
oh,
he said he
nice.
watched my tape, which was really cool.
That's what always makes me feel good about when we have people here on that I really admire and look up to, and when they're nice, you know.
Yeah, because you want them to be.
Yeah.
you know, I'm just like, oh please.
And then, like,
so it's really
like-
great.
But shouldn't that be a lesson to like famous people and successful people? Like, if you want your people that you look up to be nice to you,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you always go around trying to be nice?
See, but like I think there's other forms of it too. Like, so I was a huge Jim Jeffries fan.
Yeah.
Before I got to meet him, and he's just him. So like he's a cunt.
Right.
But it's like the most lovable cunt.
Right.
Like he's an asshole to you.
Yeah.
But it's like you're like, oh, but you're an asshole
That's
to
his
everyone.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like there's different forms
so
of it.
maybe that's
Sean
what they're all
Williams-
thinking.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like Cardi B's or the Nicki Minaj's
Maybe. They're
or
just
the,
like being me.
or the Mark Marons, or like you knew what to expect.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
guess that is true. It is a little deceiving when they're nice on stage though, and not the same
Yeah.
afterwards.
Well, because like I feel like I've gotten Forrest works on Jim's show, so like I've got to hang out with him.
Oh,
and
nice.
Hang out in Vegas. With
Doesn't he
them.
live pretty close to here, Jim Jeffries, or no?
I don't know. I've never been to his house.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure. I think he lives a little bit of ways because Forrest invited me to something going on over there, and I didn't think. I don't remember where it was at, but I don't think it was. I didn't think. Oh, it's close.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, so much fun. Like fucking, there was one time where we were just all fucking completely shit faced, and it was just. I remember like walking around and just being like, I'm shit faced drunk in the fucking whale room with Jim Jeffries. Like I had like a realization of
Yeah.
it where he's like letting us play hands of his money, and I'm just like. This is the craziest fucking thing that's ever happened. Like,
I love moments like that.
It's gonna be a hard question for you to answer.
yeah.
Well, I always say the problem is my answer is become a bit by Brian Regan. But
Oh, yeah.
so like the story seems like I'm just ripping off Brian Regan, but it genuinely happened to me.
Yeah.
I was at the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, yeah, this is-
And I think I'm hot shit. I don't think I'm hot shit, but I'm at the height of like anything I've ever had.
Right.
No, I never thought he'd even drive to the Playboy Mansion,
Right.
let alone be in California.
inside it.
Yeah, part
Yeah.
of it. I'm like in Playboy Magazine,
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
photos of me.
Fucking cool
I'm
as
with
fuck.
a Playmate of the Year. Like
Yeah.
she's literally holding my arm, and across from us, we tried to look for any table we could sit down and whatever. And Judy Tenuta was at the table across from us, and I was like, "That's Judy Tenuta." She's like, "Who's that?" She goes, "Well, she used to be a comedian." And across from us is an old lady and an old man. Nobody else sitting with them. So we eat, and the old lady starts to chop it up, and she goes, "What do you guys do?" And I said, "Oh, well, she's Playmate of the Year, so that's why we're here." And then she goes, "Oh, well, congratulations, that's fantastic." She goes, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm on this TV show. I'm a stand-up comedian. I think I'm very proud to have something to answer that might matter." And then she goes, "My husband walked on the moon." And I was like, "What? Oh my God." And it was Buzz Aldrin. And I was like, I was so
funny.
I wouldn't have never been starstruck. But then when she told me, I was like, "Yeah, that's huge." He was like definitely the alien believing man who walked on the moon.
Well, what's the numbers, right? How many people?
12.
12.
He's one of 12.
It's fucking crazy.
And only one of 2 that people know the names of.
right?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
We know like the first and then him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
He also believes in aliens, which I like.
I do like
He
that.
said he saw aliens up there.
And then somebody else, somebody was like, didn't he punch somebody?
Yeah, he punched someone in the face and he didn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they tried to
Walk
say
on
the
the
moon.
goddamn moon.
Because they're like,
Yeah.
they said the moon landing was fake, and he pushed
And
him.
Oh,
he was like, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, he tried to give him fake news, and then he punched him in the face.
Good.
Tried to give him the fake
Good.
news line.
Yeah.
Should have hit him with his fucking cane.
Yeah, he probably is. That's a good answer for you.
What? Oh yeah, that's
I mean,
I
that-
think
that's-
that's
because
because
He's
I've
world
met a lot
renowned.
of like
He's world renowned.
Hugh Hefners and the people that like are whatever like that, Kim Kardashians, but I don't or Beyonce's probably up there.
Yeah.
That might be
That's like meeting,
That's the
Mother Nature, right?
Yeah, that's
version,
true.
yeah.
That's true.
well because I want to meet like the Dalai Lama or like I would always want to meet like when I was a kid I'd say like Mother Teresa and stuff is what I want to meet, but like those people are. They're not out and about at like Clippers games.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I'm not gonna run into them at Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the Dalai Lama in the grotto.
I went to the Dodgers game and fucking Putin was there. It was weird.
Yeah, son. Great guy.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Loves
He let us
baseball.
into his box.
Loves those Dodger dogs, let me tell you.
Who's the guy from Cuba that would be at every baseball
Fidel
game?
Castro?
Yeah, Fidel Castro's like a huge baseball nut. We would have got along fine.
Is Castro dead? He's dead.
Yeah,
He's
dead.
gone. Yeah, he's gone.
We would have gotten along.
I'm half Cuban. I'm like, wait a second. Is he dead? He's dead, right?
I would have gotten along with Castro because
Yeah.
I don't talk politics anyways, and he just wants
Would've
to
been fine.
drink, smoke cigars, and watch baseball. It'd be like George W. Bush. Like I'm not gonna talk politics with him. I'd probably just love watching baseball with him.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think George W. Bush would probably be a real fun party.
That'd be my most. That's not my most coveted guest. Besides those teenagers with the 2 heads, I want George W. Bush. That would be my best guest. My most favorite
I
guest.
like that.
Yeah.
George W. Bush. I know for a fact he'd be a fun hang
Yeah.
because he's just so fucking like I don't really give a shit.
Oh, he's the best. Do you think if we booked Donald Trump, it would be heavily listened to, or nobody would want to listen to it?
heavily listened
heavily
to, but
listened to.
also looked down upon
For
by
booking it?
everyone in this state.
For booking it?
Yes.
Wouldn't you just want to book it? Just have like a.
And
Just,
the only way you get away with that is you go at him hard.
but I would never.
Right. You just be super nice to
Yeah.
him. Right.
I don't know,
I
though.
wouldn't do it.
I don't know if that, because like if he ended up on like Joe Rogan's podcast, like I don't think people would have an issue with it.
Oh, you know what's funny
people
about
freaked out when he had Alex Jones on.
Joe? Yeah.
Yeah, but
Wait,
it
and
doesn't-
people
that
get
doesn't
mad at Jimmy
ruin-
Fallon for
it
not
didn't
going
ruin
hard on Trump.
Yeah.
But no one did. No one did. There's clips of him in 2012 on The View, and they fucking skewer him every day. And they're just like best friends with him then. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, it's our good friend Donald Trump.
Oh,
And
I
it's
see what
like,
you're saying. I'm talking about the fans skewing the people.
I know.
People get mad at Jimmy Fallon for not.
yeah.
But he's like, I'm Jimmy Fallon. Like, I'm the fun,
I'm all
nice.
fun,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not the politics show. There's 75 other late shows that do politics.
that, yeah.
They would go hard on him, and he would never accept that offer.
Right.
He goes on the Tonight
and
Show because
also-
the Tonight Show's about like singing gags.
And also
stuff.
it's smart because
What's in the box?
there's the other half of the people watching your show who don't want you to skewer Donald Trump, you know? So thinking it from his standpoint too, like why would he?
And that's why would I hear? I
Exactly.
would. That's not Jeff.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting though, because I'd much rather have a Donald Trump in the podcast than like an Obama. Obama's very careful with his words. Trump isn't.
Right. Well, you would get something viral from Trump.
Yeah, remember the podcast where when Barack Obama went on Mark Maron's podcast, it was the worst episode of Mark Maron's podcast.
Yeah.
Because what is Obama gonna share
Right.
that's not?
There probably would be someone sitting back there though that would like give me a piece of paper at the end and be like, all right, this needs to go.
Oh,
this
yeah,
needs
yeah.
to go. This
Well,
needs
because
to go,
like
this
Barack
needs to go.
Obama, like he's not gonna say like, "Oh, when I met Kim Jong Un, that guy's nuts. He did this." He can't tell you the exciting stories that
Right.
comics and wrestlers can, because he's supposed to be the gentleman of the people, you know, and
Right.
stuff like that. So like Barack Obama shared nothing interesting.
Yeah, and even better, Trump post
I feel like,
office would
I
be
feel like and the other
exciting.
thing is, if you had Trump on, you'd have to like, you could ask him fun questions that would still get him in trouble. You'd be like, "How many chicks have you been like finger deep in, you fucking weirdo?"
Well, but what if I went super nice?
Yeah.
The first 30 minutes, the formula was just
Like-
putting on the
just
charm.
charming.
Just putting on the charm, just really being like blah, blah. And then 30 minutes in, Tony gives me some signal, and then I'm like, are there aliens or not? You know what I'm
like
saying?
this?
Like something like that.
I go like this.
You're a war criminal.
No, I wouldn't go hard. I would just,
Yeah.
the next 30 minutes would just be all stuff like that. Like,
aliens.
come
Area
on, man.
51. What's going on there?
Yeah,
huh?
come on, Tiffany. What have you learned in the White House that you're like, whoa, that is real? You know,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Because
I
that's
think-
the shit I want to know.
You might share that stuff. You might be like, oh, I've seen
Probably
nothing. Like,
not. It would fall out of his mouth, but then they'd cut the fucking
Yeah, that's true.
electricity to the building, and you guys
Yeah.
would be dead, and he'd be gone.
Yeah.
You know?
They would have me. They would have me like in
hostage mode.
in ropes, editing like this
Yeah.
to make sure I'm like, all right, this needs to go.
oh, it'd be
Okay.
so great.
Fuck.
You know
can't
that-
reach the.
Old Donald Trump interviews pre like presidency or even political Trump, when he was just like a reality star and had a
Yeah.
bunch of hotels and
Yeah.
investments. He's always very defensive, even when he was like in those things like that. Like,
Well, yeah, because I think the honest fact is that it's because the persona is fake. You know what I mean? I don't think that he's genuinely as rich or as powerful or any of those things. So even when he was on like the reality show, You're Fired,
Yeah.
that's when he really garnered most of his fucking wealth. And it wasn't because he was such a great businessman.
TV star.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he got accustomed to being this persona.
Right.
Yeah.
And now he's very defensive because the persona's been, people have looked past it now.
You're right. Maybe not though, because I remember one time like they like asked him in a public interview like in New York City about like the New York 7 or whatever. Remember that?
Yeah, the Central Park 6.
Central Park 6. Yeah, those kids. Like, why
5,
even
Central Park
ask
5.
Donald Trump's opinion about that? It was like
Because he's a New York staple.
yeah, but like so that shows how public of a figure he is.
He's
that-
extremely public of a figure.
they were
but
asking for his
but
Twitter
he did
opinions
that.
before Twitter.
They didn't
But
ask Derek Jeter.
But he did that to himself when he was younger. He would seek out the publicity.
Yeah.
So like
sure.
he's made
100%.
himself
100%.
into that where it's like, well, we gotta ask Donald.
Yeah.
He
You
was
know?
the
He's
Donald.
Like, he's the Donald. He's like page 6. That was his shit.
Yeah.
Page 6. Who's Donald fucking? Like, whoa, millionaire fucking real estate playboy
Yeah.
has weird hair.
He's like a crappy Hugh Hefner.
Oh man, he's comparing
He's
the
like
two of them.
he's like a
blah.
super not cool Tony Stark.
Yes. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Super not cool and not rich.
Yeah, he's Tony Fart.
I actually like that. You made fun of yourself for making that joke, but I like it. That's right in my wheelhouse. Yeah, I don't know. I just like I remember loving him so much when he was on that show, and then when he became
Which is okay. You're allowed
he was
to.
just
Don't let people make you feel
he was
bad
a
for liking
professional
them.
cunt.
Yeah.
He'd go, she's ugly, she's got to go. You're
He's
fired.
like professional cunt. Get bigger tits, you're gone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
I
like,
don't know why my Donald Trump is also JFK. They're the
Yeah.
same person, right?
you made JFK less charming
Yeah.
with all the catchphrases
With
of
all the-
Donald Trump.
You're fired.
Nobody does JFK
Now
anymore.
I just want to see JFK
No, man.
behave like
It's too
Donald
soon.
Trump.
It's too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah.
It's too soon, man.
Well, like,
Let me tell you, they shot the back of his head out all over that Cadillac. Boy, oh boy.
we had our last episode. If you want to reel back to episode 70 with Nick Anthony, he alluded to the fact that the JFK assassination is 100% a fact that Oswald killed JFK and left no wiggle room for conspiracy. He's like, they did the logistics, but he said it so fast that I didn't want to get caught up in it and like
Right.
talk about conspiracy. But in my mind, I was like, I thought that was like the one conspiracy that most people were like, oh, that's more likely
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because the magic bullet and all that stuff.
Because somebody told me, like, Andrew Slater was also on this podcast in the past. He once said, and not on the podcast, but he said, I don't believe in any conspiracy theories, but I think one that is definitely true was the JFK one, so much so that it's not even a conspiracy anymore. It's just like, we don't know who shot him.
Right. Well, because, like, I remember I've seen, like, they've done so many fucking things about that, and then, like, it's all the trajectory shit.
Right.
Because, like,
the ballistics test.
yeah, that's
But
the
he was
stuff that always
suggesting
makes it
that
super interesting.
the ballistics proves it.
Proves
No,
it.
but it doesn't because
It doesn't.
because his fucking head gets splattered all over the trunk of that.
In a certain direction.
Well, it's just like it. Okay, so your head's a big cantaloupe, right? And the bullet hit him like that,
Yeah.
right? And so it would splat all that way, but it splatted all this way,
Yeah.
like he got shot from in the car almost.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, like, there's people who think, like, I remember reading a thing where they thought, God damn it, it'd be the funniest thing that ever happened in the history of fucking time. If there's a general who was in the passenger front seat, and he's the one who got shot by the bullet that Oswald hit him, and it hit him like in the hip. And what he did is he panicked and pulled his gun out and shot the president in the face. And I just hope that's what happened.
Oh my God.
What a fucking goof. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no!
The one man I'm supposed to protect.
That sounds like a Leslie Nielsen
And
movie.
he's also like a fucking general. It literally is the Naked Gun 44th and
Yeah.
a 4th. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And he just fucking blows Kennedy's brains out.
His
Oh,
instincts were horribly wrong.
hilarious.
Yes, and he even has to play off that he got shot,
Yeah,
so that he doesn't give it away.
Well, no, because he that's the whole thing. He got shot, and they're saying the bullet makes no sense. If there was one bullet, it couldn't have gone through Kennedy's head and hit him in the hip and all this shit.
Oh, wow.
That's what they're saying, right? So
That
they're like,
is
it had to
pretty
be
funny.
another bullet.
Yeah, and they didn't ever test his gun or anything.
I mean, I'm sure that they there's no way that's what happened.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, wouldn't she have been like, no, this asshole
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
front seat shot him.
Old Jackie's like just going through the motions
Yeah.
anyway. She's like, I didn't like either of these guys.
Right? All he did is fuck whores.
Yeah. She cheated
I'm
a lot too.
glad they shot him. Oh, Jesus, Jackie. Oh, Jackie, get her off the
Don't
TV.
say that.
Get her off the box, Jim.
I thought they were both like chain smoking alcoholic fuckmasters. Like they like her and him were both just so promiscuous and so
that should be the name of someone's autobiography.
seriously.
Chain smoking,
But like they live in this
I want that to be my next
they live in this filter of
chain
like
smoking fuckmaster. J.C. Currais, chain smoking fuckmaster.
actually, not a bad title at all.
Not a bad- it's a
but
great
no, what
title.
I'm saying is like they live in this like filter of like, oh, they represented like glam in the 50s.
Yeah.
And you're like, but they weren't as conservative or as great or as like Pontius and Christian as you think they were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
they-
because
they were
no
fun.
one was.
Yeah, no one was.
Right. Because it's all bullshit.
Right. And then
Because
you
it was before they could before everyone was being followed around with cameras
Yeah.
24 hours a day.
so the world hasn't got worse.
No,
the
it's
world has
everyone's
just been
seeing it.
revealed.
Right, everyone's just seeing all of it now. Yeah.
It's like they live.
Yeah.
Obey.
Yeah, interesting. I just listened to this. I listen to a podcast every week called Sasquatch Chronicles. It's like my most favorite podcast. And one of the episodes, they talk to a guy who worked in Iraq, and he claims that our government has all this equipment that they don't want regular people to know about. So it's like, if you buy night vision goggles, good for you. You can see in the night. You can see like thermal, like whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, but the military ones that they give people have different settings that you can see things that are in different dimensions. And he was like explaining how like, when you lose a set of those things on the thing, they'll spend like 8 hours with as many men as they can to go find those things. Not just because they're expensive, but because there's shit on there that like they don't want getting into
World
the
to
public
have,
hands. Which how do we get some of that? I thought of that when I was listening to it this week. I was like, oh, that's kind of like they live,
Yeah.
Wait, so have you been watching? You've been keeping up with wrestling?
NXT.
Okay.
But I watched the recap of.
It hasn't been great.
No, WWE's bad. It's bad. And
I haven't been
what
watching
they're doing
since that one wrestler from Wisconsin's been fucking my ex-girlfriend. I stopped watching.
He's from Iowa. He's from Iowa. Let's
That's what
be
I
more
meant.
specific.
Iowa.
Who's up with that? You mean the baby face of the company?
Yeah.
Who they just keep fucking over. So
Not
that's-
afraid.
Not afraid. No, dude, it's bad. And I honestly think when when the All Elite Wrestling when AEW goes on to national TV, WWE is going to be in some serious fucking trouble.
Especially because once it gets on the national level where everybody's talking about it, guess who's going to come running? Wrestlers from WWE that want to be on it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many guys who want off right now. Like the Revival, for example. They wanted to leave so bad that the WWE put the belt on them.
Right.
Well, and they're also just throwing them a whole bunch of money and signing them to like 5-year contracts.
And that's the other thing. Guys are in these huge contracts and they want to break them and they want to leave, but then like
which they will when the product goes. If the product becomes,
they can't, though.
if that one becomes so big,
WWE has them on these fucking guarantees, right? And they can. There's bullshit in some of their contracts where they can extend them without fucking asking the guys. It's bullshit. Vince is a fucking asshole.
I believe they could wiggle out of that. I can't
You gotta
imagine.
hope they can. I mean,
There's gonna be guys with contracts come up.
Ambrose had to kind of just take it and eat it. The only reason why Ambrose didn't get wiped off TV is because the Shield was such a hot commodity.
Right.
You
But
know?
think about this, like, and Tony hates this take or disagrees with me or whatever, but I hate that nobody gave an F about Dean Ambrose on, like, let's say it's February 3rd.
I don't disagree
Nobody
with
gave.
your
Oh, you know? I thought
I
you
was just
didn't
trying to,
like
like,
this take.
I was just trying to justify the other side. Yeah.
So no one gave a F about Dean Ambrose February 3rd. And then February 4th, he shows up on a different wrestling program with a better name. And all these fans go, it's him! Dean Ambrose is John. And
now-
so, like, those fans are so annoying to me.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Too many wrestlers in WWE who are too talented, who don't get any push.
Yes.
I feel like everyone wanted Ambrose to have a push.
He
but
got
they had no
pushes
place.
and they didn't.
But
Yeah.
again, it's because it's bad though. They're controlling the story, and it's
Right.
bad.
Yep.
So when Ambrose went to AEW and came out as Moxley, his first
persona, yeah.
persona, everyone lost their minds because he gets to do matches
The
like he
shackles are
used
off.
to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they're excited about. Like the match he had, I can't think of the name of the guy.
Joey
but it was-
Janela.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
was a
That's
good
a
match.
fucking crazy
They,
match.
yeah, they're gonna kill each other.
They're going to kill each other.
Oh, so that
they're
makes more.
insane.
That's a good justification.
Yeah.
Because in my
they're-
mind,
like,
when I see
Moxley was like a deathmatch guy.
okay, but
Yeah.
when I
Like, you know what
saw
I mean?
I
Yeah.
saw him come out, I go big whoop. It's Dean Ambrose. Didn't care about him yesterday. Don't care about him today.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's how I looked at it.
But
Right.
because you were never an indie wrestling guy.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was
think
shocked.
that-
I was like, let him have him. And then everyone's
Right.
like, John Moxley this, John Moxley. He's going to be doing an autograph signing for $900 million tomorrow. And I was like, it's still just the guy I hated 7
But
days
I
ago.
think
I was
what's going to happen is that you're going to see, if you were watching that product,
Yeah.
or if we got you out to a PWG show,
Yeah.
it would literally make you go, oh,
I get it.
fuck WWE.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
interesting.
gets to wrestle more of his style.
Yes.
He doesn't
Like,
have to wrestle the WWE style.
KO could come back and be Kevin Steen
Right.
and do the 20 moves that they don't let him do in the WWE.
God, I
just
would
cut the promos they
lose
don't let him cut.
my fucking mind if if Owens could escape to AEW.
And that's my favorite thing about like New Japan too is when they have like the Americans over there because they can say whatever they want because it's
Yeah.
English.
Right.
So they like, you know, there's
Because Jericho drops all the F-bombs and
yeah,
all
it's
the
just like
fingers.
because it's
yeah.
like whatever. You
Oh,
know?
dude,
It's
and
like,
then like I just
Juice
like
Robinson
the style.
cuts great promos.
I just love the style when they come off, and it's like instead of it being like this very like contrived backstage bullshit, it's they come off and they do a press conference
a post-game
any
interview, yeah.
pro fighter would,
Yeah,
and
so-
it's just real.
Yeah.
And it's the realism era. So like sell it.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're not gonna, then go all the way
Yeah.
and use the fucking guys you have. Like, here's the thing. WWE, if you're gonna go with this non-realism thing, then your champion shouldn't be fucking an MMA guy who should retire. It should be Braun fucking Strowman.
Right.
The belt should have been on his ass a long time ago.
Right.
And you should have used him to bury Brock Lesnar. Because Brock Lesnar is the worst thing for your product in the entire world.
Yeah, and they just go, well, but it's more realistic.
He
And you're like,
sells.
but you're not subscribing to anything else?
That's not what it is. Vince goes, no, listen to me. Lesnar sells tickets.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And-
Lesnar's, he's a draw.
Yeah, they're having a bit of an identity crisis right now,
They don't
which
know
I
what
think
the
is
fuck
good.
they're doing.
Which is
Yeah.
good. So
That's good for all the other wrestling
right?
leagues.
And it's weird because it's like I don't know if we can call AEW competition because it's just
not.
it's just an alternative product.
It's not- they're
but
not
it's
competition
gonna
yet.
help. It's gonna
For
help.
sure.
I guess
It
I was
has
just
to.
suggesting that when it gets big enough, it will be competition because there's no way that Vince can give everybody this like throw money at him, throw belts
Sure.
at him,
But
because
sure.
he's going to be all these other wrestlers.
Yeah, but I
But
don't
he's
think
trying to sign guys. Like, literally, like, there's guys who are signed with AEW who Vince was trying to sign.
Yeah.
But since Vince has all the talent,
Right.
like there can't like he's gonna miss. He's gonna
Right.
go, oh, this
So, like-
I've been underappreciating Ziggler for this long.
Right, so-
He's gonna I can't put the belts. If I put the belts in the Revival,
Yeah.
that makes the B team. Now turn into like, oh well, now we don't have the belts, and he's not offering us a 5-year. Like it's just basic. It's
There's gonna be
Vince's
guys-
worst nightmare, but it's
Yes.
also like
It's
but
good for wrestling.
But I don't think we're gonna get. It's not gonna be at the level the Monday Night Wars were. It's not
It
gonna be
can't.
like
It
that.
just won't be. What I hope happens is that it starts to lead more into that, like, we're territories again. Like, where it's almost
Yeah.
like, I'd love it if there were fucking 3
Yeah,
or
that'd be
4
awesome.
Because that's also
nationally televised
let's
wrestling
start one of our
shows.
own, dude.
Because-
Dude, I would I would love nothing more than to fucking Heyman it up. I would love to be a fucking manager.
We might not need to beep this, but I've always wanted to write an office style wrestling show.
Dude,
So we don't show any of the matches. We just
it's
show
all the backstage stuff.
We all show like the documentary filming. You've got this one boss, kind of like Vince, who's like
Yeah.
delusional and stupid, and he makes all the
great.
decisions. You got one guy every episode, like Rachel Dratch from like 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Who she's all not she, but like her. He's always trying a different character. Like, hey, what if I'm Barf Guy? And
That's
they're like,
so
we
funny.
already did that once. And he's
Right.
like, no, I know, but
Just indie
and
wrestling.
next week he's a garbage truck man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but like we go through the whole psychopathness that is
Yeah.
performing in wrestling indies.
So my buddy, there was a project they were trying to get off the ground. My buddy Paul Lair, who's the one who got me back into wrestling.
Yeah.
When I was older, he was writing on that, and then they kiboshed it, didn't come through. But I know that show didn't get legs because the wrong people were pushing it.
Well, I brought Mike Lawrence said he'd write it with me.
See, like, that's the right people.
And then also, you'd be great for it. It would be fun. I thought I could be the snobby like Shane McMahon, like the
great.
boss's son, who's like
fucking great.
a moron. But since my daddy has the business, a George
Right,
W.
and
Bush
you just
type.
do it. You do it indie style. Like, I know Andy Peters.
Yeah, he loves
fucking
wrestling.
loves wrestling. We had this fucking gimmick where because there's like he was gonna come out. There's like a wrestling thing in Denver where they have comedians come in.
Yeah,
and-
I'm supposed to do that.
Dude,
I've been supposed to do it
be.
for like the last
It's
3
supposed to be
years.
amazing, but he was gonna come out and he was gonna have me come out with a chain around my neck and play a character named Mud.
That's
And all
amazing.
I do is I just have my hair soaked all down my face and I just go Mud. I
love
That's
that.
my whole gimmick.
I've heard that whole. They every like time that someone says Jeff in Denver, they're like, we gotta have it for that wrestling show.
It's
the problem
fucking
is I don't
great.
want to fly all the way to Denver
To make no
put
money to
myself
do
up.
this thing,
There's a
yeah.
free thing, so I'm always like, if the paths ever cross,
Yes,
I'm
where it
gonna
makes sense. I'd love
And they're
to do
very
that.
aware of me, and they're like, oh, there's this guy that loves wrestling.
It would be so much fun. And again, like I've had buddies.
I've heard that's
do
a
the
show no one bombs
commentary.
on.
No way. And also just like you get to sit in the fucking and do commentary afterwards.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's the most fun.
Well, we should look into that, or we should
I
talk
love
more
that.
about
I
that.
love that. But I just wish there was more fucking wrestling stuff.
More
There
territory
should be
style.
more. There should just be. There's enough guys with enough talent that they could all be getting showcased in a really cool way. Like fucking like. So here's an example. Bray Wyatt. When he first came out, that character and that gimmick was spot on. And what WWE did is they went, "Oh, he's so good, we can job him out to people,
Yeah.
and it won't affect him because people love him so much."
Yeah.
And then they jobbed him out to so many different people to get them strong. Oh, that guy beat Bray Wyatt. To the point where then people were like, oh, fuck, all he did is fight Bray Wyatt.
Why don't they just have regular jobbers?
They need regular jobbers.
Yeah.
There's enough indie guys that they could just... Here's the other thing. Their performance center should just be called Job City.
Yeah.
Bro, those guys would love to go and job
Uh-huh.
on Raw or whatever. But the problem is it's not like before when people can forget what you did before you were your gimmick.
Right.
Like-
when also like I think from my perspective of watching wrestling, if you give me Shinsuke versus Seth Rollins 7 Mondays in a row leading up to their big title match and the thing,
I've seen all of it.
I've seen them fight. I've seen everything they do.
all of it.
I watched so-and-so's finishing move on so-and-so 7 weekends in a row. 7 weeks in a row.
It shouldn't be that. They should be fighting other guys and
Or
then you
jobbies.
just use them, and then you use them to cut promos against each other.
And it's a treat to watch them fight.
and then you're excited about those matches.
Yeah, because that's how wrestling was when I first started
But
watching.
there's too much TV right now.
I was like, who do I think is going to win, Undertaker or Derek in the blue trunks?
Right.
I was pretty sure Undertaker was going to win.
But see, here's the thing. You've got enough mid-card guys that you can have somebody come out and put on a great match.
Or like one half of a tag team.
Yes, somebody like Chad Gable
Yeah.
versus The Undertaker.
Right.
Let them wrestle for 15 minutes. And then you go, you know what? Chad Gable got fucking tombstone pile driver. But before that, he looked real fucking good out
Right.
there. And then both guys come out shining.
He held his own, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you could just do that, and I don't think they do that anymore. They don't care enough. The booking is lazy.
Yeah.
It's lazy booking. They have such talent. They could be doing such really cool things. Like also, like Brock Lesnar should not be involved right now, right? Like you know,
But it's
who
not
you
in the
should be
capacity
having?
he is. Like, have him on the show, fine. But
Sure.
he doesn't need to be in the title picture.
No,
Is he,
doesn't.
is he
The
one of those
title
guys that
picture-
demands that stuff? Like he's
Yes,
like, oh, it's in my
absolutely. He's a
cards.
piece
I'm
of
not going to
shit.
be on there and not be
I
the
am sure
champion.
he is the biggest piece
I think-
of shit on the planet.
I think he just wants his money.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
all I think
would he
he
take the money and not be the champ?
I don't know.
That's what
I
I'm
don't know the
curious
guy.
about.
I don't
but
think so.
That's what I've.
Because Ronda Rousey, it was in her thing. She's going to be champ. Like,
Right.
I'm champ and I get the money. And I'm wondering where she learned that formula. Was
Right.
that her friend from UFC saying, hey, that's what I do here? And that's
No,
I'm the biggest
I'm sure
star?
they came. She just came in and was like, "Look, I'm a fucking draw. I get whatever I want. I want to win."
Yeah.
It's also shitty because
Not
when
good
you
for a
bring
story.
when you bring in guys who have MMA real fight experience, that they're on the downward spiral of that career, they're accustomed to feeling like they're the shit. So it's like they won't want to lose.
Right.
Like there's other guys who like they're failed.
It'd be like if
MMA
you created a
fighters,
fake
you know?
NBA league and Kobe's like, all
It's
right,
like
bro, I
Tommy
need
End, right? Tommy End, or Aleister Black.
Yeah.
So like he was a fucking fighter.
Right.
And then he was like, "Oh, I want to do this. I don't have to get my ass whooped.
Right.
I could get my ass whooped, but it's different ass
Right.
Or
whooping."
Matt Riddle, same
Right.
thing.
You know what I mean? That sort of shit. I mean, fucking Matt Riddle. He is a goddamn. I mean, he's a fucking badass.
Yeah.
He's not great on the mic yet. He's getting there. But like, here's my worry: people chant for him too much, and then Vince is gonna go, "Well, give me the white kid with the long hair. He flips his flip flops off. Give him to me, and I'll
That's
put
a
him
good
on.
Vince.
I'll put him on there, and then he'll fucking I don't know.
That's a good promoter voice.
That's it.
Maybe not
no,
Vince.
Get up there, and he'll do it. That's it. That's it. It's like
No,
They'll
that's
it's like,
cheer.
I'll give him
I take it back. That's
I'll
not a
give
good
him
Vince.
the United States Championship, and then we'll be done.
good Walter Brimley.
Well done. After that's over. Like, and then it's like they'll be like, "Oh, so who's he gonna feud with? I don't know. Just give me one of the colored guys." Like, that's the way he
Oh my
thinks.
god.
That's what he thinks.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He literally, dude. I guarantee you, him putting the belt on Kofi Kingston, he was upset when he had to do that.
Yeah, the fans really pressured that along.
He was upset.
Yeah.
He was upset.
Why?
And because in Vince's mind, he's the wrong color.
Oh, interesting.
He is. He's
Shots fired, Vince.
like, bro, Vince, you're a fucking racist.
Whoa, hey, I'm trying to get sponsored by this. That
Sorry.
was really good. Yeah, dude. We need to have a separate wrestling podcast where we just talk wrestling.
Shit about it.
No,
No,
talk
I mean,
all wrestling.
I
I'm
just-
optimistic for the future because of the competition.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't have to be at the level of Monday Night Wars for me to get excited about it. I think it's going to also, like, it'll break guys like a John Moxley who, like, is like, oh, I hate it here and I love it there. And
Yeah.
what-
Yeah.
And Cody Rhodes.
But one thing to consider too, which AEW has talked about a lot, and like Jericho's talked about since whatever, they have guys like that. Like you need a Jericho, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you need like a John Moxley coming is like a big deal.
Yeah.
But they're not trying to poach WWE guys. Like they
not.
want to build these
I know
guys
that.
no one knows about.
But-
so like I don't think we should expect like when Monday Night Wars when Jericho showed up on WWE Raw,
Right.
it was like oh, like it was
I
like this
think
big
there's
thing.
going to be
I don't think
plenty
it's
of
gonna-
it still.
I think they're going to be.
You have
They're
to.
going to be lower tier guys, and they're just going to come over. I don't think there's going to be as much fanfare.
Right.
You're not going to have like
You might not
Cena
get
signing
exactly.
with AEW.
You're not going to get
like-
A-listers, which is what Ted Bundy was
Right.
going after, or Ted Turner. Sorry, Ted Turner.
Hey, Ted
He was
Bundy
not going
also-
after A-listers.
He was going after A-listers. too.
No, he was
Different
not.
type of
No, he
A-lister.
was
Hey, he's
not.
a charmer.
Those girls were A's, baby. No, but I do think there's gonna be plenty of that because you get that kind of pop from the crowd of like, oh my God, it's Shelton Benjamin. You know,
Right, it's
you're
not
gonna
going
get
to
a
be
lot
Shelton
of that.
Benjamin. I'll tell you who. Some of the guys who I think are going to come over. Apollo Crews
Okay,
will be Uha Nation, and he'll go back to AEW.
I don't know. I don't know.
Some of the guys who were in WWE who are not anymore. Rich Swann
oh yeah.
will be in AEW.
What about that little guy, Neville?
Neville? Will
He was
be
there.
In,
No, he was there. He's not. He already like left.
Okay.
He was supposed to be there. He was supposed to be at their last pay per view, and they've already had creative
Problems with
Really? What is
So
that
he-
guy's
That's the thing,
deal?
because
So
those
he
guys
pulled
are
out
like-
of.
He's so talented.
But he's doing New Japan stuff.
He's not in New Japan. He's
not?
in Dragon Gate.
Oh, that's what it
which
is.
is like
Yeah, yeah.
way small.
Yeah.
Just because he can do whatever he
sounds
wants.
Japanese to me.
It is in Japan. It's just not
Right.
New Japan.
But so I mean, like I think that like, well, here's the other thing. Once the money's better, they'll sign guys
Yeah,
like that.
it's just it's oof.
Also, but here's the thing: Cody,
Vince
the
is
Young
just
Bucks, and
throwing
Jericho.
money at these people.
Cody, Jericho, and the Young Bucks have a very specific creative
Formula.
Kenny Omega.
Yeah, and Kenny's involved in it. I think that the
Kenny's EVP. Jericho's not. Jericho's just talent. He's helping them with creative
really,
stuff.
I feel like
but
when
Cody.
Jericho did an interview, he was on Bubba Ray's. He said he was helping. with creative.
They come to him for input because he's but he's not an actual EVP. Like
Got
it's
it.
Cody Rhodes, the Bucks, and Kenny Omega are actually like
Makes sense.
executives in the
Guys,
company.
are you guys still there? Guys? How many of you guys checked out when we started talking wrestling?
Yeah, it happens.
I love it.
I love it
Tony
too.
loves it. JC loves it.
How many
getting
of you
carried
guys
away.
But I am
checked
curious
We're
how
getting carried
many of
away.
you guys checked out on wrestling. JC, where can we see you? Where they can find you for all your shows and stuff?
So I'm on a Disney Channel show called Just Roll With It
Yeah.
every Wednesday on the Disney Channel. And then let's see what I got coming up.
This is a few weeks, by the way.
A few weeks. So you can see me. If you're in the Toledo area, I'll be at the Toledo Funny Bone on my birthday weekend, October 4th. So that's a good one to plug.
Love that club.
And then I'll also be, in a few weeks, I will be in Vegas at the Strat, opening up for Sam Comro and his residency on the 19th, 20th, and 21st.
Oh, he's got a residency there.
Yes,
Good-
he does
good for
now.
him.
6 p.m. residency.
Good night.
It's super, super fun.
He must be a millionaire now.
I don't think so, but real damn close, I think.
Yeah, residency in Vegas.
He's a 900,000 there.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to go, and we're going to get lit up drunk.
And your shows are phenomenal.
It's so funny that you say that right after you plug your Disney Channel
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Well, that's
funny.
a stand-up life.
It's funny.
Yeah, exactly. It's
No,
gonna be very
none of the
different.
kids are listening.
Yeah.
Tone Dog, where can they find you, baby?
You can follow all the gaming stuff I got going on. Big gaming stuff
Yeah.
going on at youtube.com.
Peek. Let's peek.
Yeah, /screen peekers. And everything else I'm up to on Twitter and Instagram at I am Tony Reavis.
All right, guys. And you know where to find me. I love ya. Bye.
Friendship.
How about that episode, huh? Big shout out to JC. Thanks for coming back in the Legion of Solid Dudes. Or the, what is it? Fortress of Solid Dudes. I already forgot the name. We've had a lot of girls in here, so I've kind of scrapped that name a little bit. Thanks for coming back, brother. We love you. Also, thank you to all the people watching on Patreon. If you want to watch on Patreon, go to patreon.com/Jeff Dye, and you can watch this episode and all the other ones. If you're just listening, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and we thank you for listening for free. We're just happy that you're here. Big shout out to All Things Comedy. Yeah, we love you guys. Thanks so much for listening or watching.